Unlike 5 years ago, Bitcoin is hugely popular on the internet today. And having blown up in recent years, everybody wants to get a piece of the action. The value of one Bitcoin today is close to $38,000, so it's no wonder people want to get on the internet and learn what cryptocurrency is and how they can get some of it, and fast. These mines are structures equipped with massive processors where users solve complex math problems and get rewarded with digital currency. These hardware centers, or as some call them, farms, are purely for Bitcoin mining. Still sounds complicated? Don't worry. Luckily for you, class is in session. Welcome back to Simply Tech. Before we dive into the world of cryptocurrency, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss a video. Bitcoin is the most valuable cryptocurrency, and it's the first digital currency you can mine. The mining process is like the backbone of the Bitcoin network, and Bitcoin mines continuously process coins. But before we explore the technical side of things, what is Bitcoin? Bitcoin, simply put, is cash for the internet. It's a network that enables a new payment system and digital money, and it's the first decentralized peer-to-peer payment network that is powered entirely by its users with no authority or middlemen. Now that that's clear, let's see how you can get some of your own. You create new Bitcoins by solving a computational puzzle. Bitcoin mining is performed by high-powered computers that solve complex computational math problems. These problems are so complex that they cannot be solved by hand and are complicated enough to tax even the most powerful computers. To mine successfully, you need to have a high hash rate. What's that? Hash rate is the measuring unit of the processing power. So, if I say the mining network has reached a hash rate of 10 hash rates per second, it means it can make 10 trillion calculations per second. It's only the speed at which the device operates and gives results. And of course, speed is of the essence. It's like a game. You try to solve an equation and reap the rewards before anybody else can. The more solutions to the equation given in the period of time, the easier it will be to solve that block. Before we move on, there are two things we need to clarify: blocks and hashing. Hashing just means taking an input string of any length and giving an output of a fixed length. Blocks are where all the data is recorded and stored. Much like your bank statement, it contains a history of all your transactions. Each time a block is completed, it allows for the next block in the blockchain. Bitcoin, and actually all cryptocurrencies, depend on the use of something called blockchain, which is either hashed or encoded into a number with a letter sequence. It is decoded and then stored as mining, which includes using computers to run algorithms to process new blocks. In cryptocurrency mining, a target hash would be a numeric value that is less than or equal to the previous block for a new block to be awarded to the miner. To ensure that all the blocks are processed, the target hash works to determine the difficulty of the input and adjust it. One of the world's largest Bitcoin mines is owned by Bitmain. It was founded in 2013 by Jihan Wu and Mike Zhan. Prior to launching their uber-successful company, Wu was a financial analyst and private equity fund manager, and Zhan was running a startup that allowed users to stream TV to a computer using a set-top box. The structure of Bitmain mine. Bitmain, a Chinese firm headquartered in Beijing, is arguably the largest and most important company in the Bitcoin industry. By 2018, it had become the world's biggest designer of application-specific integrated circuit chips for Bitcoin mining. The company also operates BTC.com and Antpool, both huge mining pools. Bitmain turned a profit of $742.7 million in the first half of 2018 with 11 operating farms in China. Jihan Wu claims that 70% of the Bitcoin mining rigs in operation today were made by his company. And according to a study conducted last winter by the University of Cambridge in England, it's likely that most of those machines are plugged into an outlet somewhere in China. Bitmain sells Bitcoin mining rigs and specialized computers that keep the cryptocurrency running and produce, or mine, new Bitcoins for their owners. It also uses its own rigs to stock facilities that it owns or co-owns and operates. Bitmain owns about 20% of this. They have 9 warehouses with bright blue roofs at the headquarters, each emblazoned with the logo for Bitmain. Inside each Bitmain warehouse, it's dark, loud, and windy. Each warehouse is swathed in netting to keep pollen and dust from getting inside. Windows have been removed from one side of the warehouse and replaced with desert fans and panels of twisted metal that get doused with water from a pipe running along the top. As air enters the warehouse through these desert fans, the water evaporates and cools the interior. On the hot side of the warehouse, industrial fans blow air back out into the courtyard. Temperatures on this side exceed 104 degrees Fahrenheit. The layout of the mining racks is being reconfigured to maintain a cool side and a hot side. The machines are set up on a single rack that traverses the entire length of the warehouse. The fans are aligned to shoot hot air out behind the machines into the hot side of the warehouse, and a barrier is set up to keep the air from circulating back. While heat is definitely an issue for the mining farm in Ordos, the electricity there is dirt cheap at only 4 US cents per kilowatt hour with government subsidies. That's about 1/5 of the average price in the United Kingdom. The only other costs for the facility are the rigs themselves, plus the salary of the few dozen staff that keep them operational. This mine is maintained by engineers who track all the devices and equipment 24/7. They also have specialized software and video surveillance systems to keep everything on track to prevent fires or possible overwork of the cards. An upcoming mining farm in Rockdale, Texas will span 33,000 acres. The project is expected to cost $150 million, and construction has already begun on the first 180,000 square foot building. The mine will have a capacity of 50 megawatts, having begun construction in 2018 for a 25 megawatt farm. It is set to expand to 300 megawatts in the future, beating the farm in Beijing and making this the world's largest Bitcoin mining farm. Bitmain also acquired a mining facility in Inner Mongolia a few years ago, and it is now one of the most powerful money factories on the network. It quite literally metabolizes electricity into money. The hardware on the grounds has some 21,000 computers accounted for, which is about 4% of all the computing power in the Bitcoin network. Like 10-ton paperweights, these machines bear down on the globally distributed ledger of Bitcoin transactions, keeping its pages from ever turning backward. Here is where the supply of existing Bitcoins is secured, and here is where the banquet of new Bitcoins is served. Bitmain gained an edge by supplying a superior product in large quantities, a feat that has eluded every other company in the industry. The facility is stuffed almost exclusively with Bitmain's best-performing rig, the Antminer S9. This is the most powerful Bitcoin miner. It is 3 times more powerful and extremely efficient as compared to other miners. It could mine 3.36 Bitcoin in a year, and the power it consumes is nearly as much as a microwave oven consumes. Expanding should be no problem. After all, Bitmain is estimated to be valued at $12 billion, and that's impressive given their funding was $764. They earned over $300 million in the previous year, and they announced internally that the company regained some market share, opened 4 new mining facilities, and that 2 of those facilities had upgraded speeds of mining Bitcoins. The pandemic has also reportedly undermined the mining industry in China, which prompted the company to explore alternative methods of working. So, do you think you'll start mining? Let us know in the comments below. We hope you found this guide informative and that you will take advantage of the world's largest Bitcoin mine. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit like and check out other videos on the Simply Tech channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.